good day. All right, it's a fabulous day. And good morning. All right. Well, every day we get a lesson from the universe. All right, that's a factor. And no matter how far or wherever you are on this path, each and every of us, where we're at on our path, we look up those staircases and we say, you know what, there's eons and eons of stairs. I don't know exactly where I am. That's because we're literally doing this all together. There is no levels really, and it's just different things that we're learning. We're all learning different lessons, but we're all into this together. All right. So ego is a constant thing. All right, literally a constant thing. Even I am going through ego issues. Ego will attach to it. If you're doing really good things, let's say you did a good thing, a good humanitarian thing, but if you're saying and you want to say to people, hey, I did this and I did this, you're looking for validation. That's old energy within you. That's how ego is. Literally, you can fill your own. Hey, then you'll say, wait a minute, I can fill my own cup up. Why am I looking for validation outside of myself? I already know I did a good job, and I'm already patting myself on the shoulder. Why am I asking somebody else? All right, that's an old energy, literally. So you can wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to have a fabulous day, a positive day. I'm going to learn lots of lessons and I'm ready to learn them. And then you go and have your tea and you start the now. All right? You forget about what you said this morning. And you did. Um, and then, and that's just literally what happens. All right. So there's no coincidences in this universe. Everything happens for a reason. There's no flukes in this universe. It's happening for your highest good. And your lesson is about to come, and you never know when it's going to come upon you. And by the time it comes upon you, you don't even see it coming. All right. Ego is one of those characters. You could be saying, well, I can say so much better than this person, or I could do so much better than this person, or this person, right? You know what I'm saying? This is not a competition now, ego. What are you doing? There's no competition here. This is an old energy. But at the time you experience this, you're like, your wheels are spinning trying to figure out, why am I feeling like this? Now, why is this? And your wheels are spinning and spinning and spinning until you try to figure it. And then you're like, oh shoot, first that was a great lesson. Thank you. Now, there's many different lessons. People are coming into your relationship, and literally you've got to figure out these old energies that you've been carrying around for eons and eons, and their past behaviors from when you were wee little to now. Um, there's all kinds of things. But I got a lesson this morning right away. In fact, I really did. And I've been doing this for years on my veganism. Is I was told by my very, very best friend here in Alaska, and she's a sweetheart. She said, Megan dear, um, I was looking up and this agave syrup is made with fructose. I was like, you gotta be kidding. That's the only sugar I could eat. But then you have to think, stop. This is an ego thing. It's addiction. Ego was attaching me. He wasn't loving my body so much. Now, the issue at hand is I was having joint aches, when I was walking, because I don't have a car, so I walk most of the time. And I was having joint aches and bones were aching me. And, my friend was eating the same food that I was, and she was suffering, not sleeping at night. She was having joint aches as well. This stuff is no good for the vessel. I said something yesterday. This is the only sugar that I eat. This is the only thing I can eat. But now I'm saying no. I'm absolutely going to dump this down the drain and get rid of this because I found out that this is not good for you. I also found out that ego has a little addiction, and that was a pain body connecting to an addiction of mine. So that's something I need to look at for me. But that's just it. We're on the same team. we're all doing this together. You know, you know, what my what you know that's just it. So when we communicate between one another, I can say, well, I learned this lesson today, and this is what happened in my lesson. That might help somebody on their path and on their spiritual walk. These are lessons, and we share. That's what's the beauty of it. We're so connected. We share with one another our lessons, and when we do that, that's where we're a teammate. You're like, okay, I learned this lesson. What'd you learn in your on your path today? You know, when we share these lessons, we share this information. It's one big happy loving family. Literally what we do. Not all these lessons are gonna have beautiful wrapping paper. Some of these wrapping papers are gonna look really unattractive. But then when you open them up, you see the beauty inside, and it's how unconditionally loving yourself and others. We're trying to embody unconditional love. We have to get rid of all these old energies that never serve us. And you've got to remember that ego is the highly trickster. And he puts these thought forms in your awareness. And yeah, maybe I should go do that. You know, but at the time you're going through the lesson, you're spinning your wheels. Why am I feeling this? Why am I having this sort of old, stale, um, emotional, this old, stale, why is this, you know, that's exactly, and you're going to be spinning your wheels for quite some time. It happens to all of us. I mean, we're here to learn. It happens to all of us. But then finally, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I totally get it now. And it totally resonates. I'm not doing this to myself anymore. I love myself way too much. And I love others way too much. And that was a really good lesson. That's the time to be grateful, because now you're like, I'm really grateful I could able to let that old energy go. I'm grateful that I learned. And that was a valuable lesson. I'm grateful for it. It's a great lesson. And thank you, universe. Just remember that they're doing it for your highest good, for your greatest good. It may not seem at the time like it because you're spinning your wheels so hard, but when it's all said and done, you're like, I feel so much better. Now I can do something in my awareness about this and about what's going on, you know? And as a family, we share this, and that's exactly what we do on this. And that's a good thing, is that we can share with one another, that we can tell one another, because that helps that person on their path, you know? It's a lot of things. We come together. I learned this the other day on my path. Oh boy, it took me some time. I tell you, it took me some time, but I tell you what, it was the most wonderful, beautiful lesson that I've learned. And then the next person will say, "Yes, I learned this lesson today." Same thing. But then you're learning what they're learning, and then you know what I mean. So if it comes up in your awareness or your field, oh, like, oh, my friend, a friend told me about this lesson. Now, it might help you out on your path. I'm just saying, that's why we're connected. We're doing this together. Uh, you got to remember that we're family, and there is no competition. We're all in this together. We're all equal. We're sharing this. It's just, think of it as the ultimate couple. All right, we're an ultimate couple, sharing this and working together to embody unconditional love. We're a couple. We're embracing, each and every one of us, to embody unconditional love and to communicate between one another, to help one another out, one to another, because you literally are an expression of me. You're literally, we're, we're that connected. And so I thought I'd share that with you, because yesterday I did say this stuff was really good for you, and now I'm looking at it, and I'm going to be probably dumping it down the sink drain. I'm not going to be using it, and I used it to cook a lot of my sauces with as well. So I'm going to have to, as a chef, come up with a little bit better sauces without using this. Another thing that I brought up in my awareness is sea salt and salt. Not to use so much as well, because you know what? That causes havoc in the human body as well. Um, so, I mean, these are just things. We're loving our vessel, like I said. You know, Now, the agave syrup is going to do the emotional and mental and the physical because that's all connected. Because something emotionally is going on that mentally says I need this sugar into, you know what I mean? It's just that's something I'm going to look in and go into deep meditation about today. But that's just it. We're embodying unconditional love, and it starts with unconditionally loving yourself. It starts with loving yourself in every way that you can. And then, and when you do that, the cup overflows to others, all right? It just naturally overflows to everybody else because you start loving everybody else as yourself. And that's when you start communicating openly and what you learned. And that's the most wonderful thing you do in a relationship is you share um, what you're going through, what you learned. You share that on a day-to-day basis, and you can think of this is one. All of us is just one big couple. All right, we're all learning together. We're all doing this together. All right, we're on the same team. There is no higher. There is no lower. We're all equal, and that's you know. We came here to learn these lessons. We came here to experience them. Um, if everything was handed to us, we'd be bored silly. There would be no room for growth and expansion, all right? We literally came here to learn growth and expansion and to learn how to embody unconditional love. I mean, and these old energies and these old programs that were from childhood to now, I mean, we forgot about some of these energies that's still in our energy field, and they kind of sneak up on you, and ego kind of tries to get you attached to them. um, those energies are not unconditionally loving, so you have to get rid of them. You just you can't use them anymore. And so, you know it's just that's just how we embody unconditional love for one another, for all together. So I literally hope you have a great day. And I'm going to look at that sugar issue today. And because I love my vessel and I love you guys all. So I'm not going to serve this anymore. I'm going to dump it down the drain. And I literally learned a really good lesson. And it's something that brought my awareness, and this day is still not over, so I might have another lesson. But I know that there's a ton of snow out there today, so maybe I could have some fun and make it snow angel. Um, I love you guys, each and every one of you guys. I hope you have a blessed day.